What if I told you that this family channel is a race play breeding kink grift disguised as a poor interracial family of 6? Help a girl out. My hubby says if we can flip our financial position, this doesn't have to be our last baby. And I'm really not ready to stop having babies yet. Dog, she flipping whole. Oh God. Some people flip packs. Some people flip burgers. Shorty is flipping whole. What if I told you that it gets even worse than that? However, her first husband or her actual husband is in jail for multiple counts of SA, including against his own mother and 7-year-old. This on some Christian. We diving down the resilient Jenkins rabbit hole on today's Foreign Friday.
It's a foreign man in a foreign land.
We about to go balls deep. Oh God! About to go balls deep into this situation real quick. Oh God! The Jenkins family. How many kids are there, fam? Yeah, we about to get into the breeding kink and alleged race play. I'd be trying to give people empathy, but yeah, there definitely is race play involved. I have to preface this with saying that I am not only an ally of the working class, I am working class. You see, a lot of some of the folks, a lot of the yam heads out there that go on and vote against their own interests on Tuesday, thinking that they wasn't a part of the working class, that they just temporarily embarrassed millionaires. No, I am not beguiling myself. If you go to work, you are part of the working class. If you cannot live off of your wealth alone without agitating your wealth at all or capitalizing on it, you are a part of the working class. I need us to understand that. I'm not getting into the election. It's good, holy foreign, sanctified foreign today. As a black father, myself, I am against poor choices. And we're about to see some very poor choices indeed. Like a lot of marginalized folks have done before, this family that we're about to see, they like to hide behind their impoverished aesthetic, despite it seeming to be genuine. They tend to fend off the criticism by claiming that folks are anti-poor. I am also not anti-swirl. Moist. I am not anti-swirl. Listen, y'all could hunch whatever y'all want to hunch on. Y'all could get y'all nuts in any type, way, shape, or fashion, you know? Let it grip. It could be anything. Put it in the navel. You could the behind of someone's kneecap. I don't care. That being said, a lot of people are criticizing the blackness, the racial angle here, and they doing it wrong and strong. This is a mixed family. When I say mixed family, I mean it's a white woman and it's a black man. There's a lot of children and she pregnant too. Is it 4 kids? And his cats involved too. I also want to add, do not harass these folks and do not call CPS. Lord of His Jesus, stop calling CPS on these people. I won't get into it too deep because there's a whole nother rant, but CPS, like many different things in the carceral system, it is a pipeline for far more precarious situation for these kids to get into, unfortunately. They be getting abused in the foster system. And then they end up on the prison pipeline right there. The CPS is a feeder system for the prison system. Diagen, no, we are not talking about a polycule situation.
As the kids grow older, that means we constantly have to adapt our environment to give them more means for privacy and extra space. When outside,
I want you to pay close attention to the way that she articulates right now.
our environment appears cluttered, disorganized, what have you. But quite frankly, after making do for nearly 3 years now, I have nothing but a grateful spirit for the roof over our head. And only the instant judgment me and my husband receive, why have so many kids if you don't have enough space for them? See, my perception is judgment comes from a place of not having the experience.
Genuinely, this is valid. The way that people engage with it initially that I've been seeing, like you read the comments and like very unserious conversations being had where they're just like, poor people shouldn't have kids. A lot of these folks like look at it as an atrocity exhibition. This isn't the problem. The problem is exploitation, racism, ableism, misogyny, all kind of different things. Breeding kink, I mean, I guess a breeding kink is fine as long as like you don't bring like children into the world simply for the kink, I guess. Capitalism, sorry, I forgot about capitalism. Yeah, capitalism for sure.
I can tell you after everything I've been through in the past 3 years, there's very little I have to judge people. I would be lying if I said there wasn't a point in my life.
Hold on. Let's go back. Okay, so these the blinds and the bed there. Why the table there? Table don't stay there, right? I need to do a MTV Cribs right now. Vibes. The cat just on vibes. Okay, so they moving the table because they need more space for the child so they could turn that into a bedroom. So the kitchen about to be a bedroom, okay. And she doing this while pregnant, you know. Hey, Days, what are you talking about? He doesn't want a W2. He doesn't pay child support. Just wait. Don't get my blood going yet. These deadbeats are allergic to W2s. That's diabolical, actually. The fact that like you are so committed to not paying for your children that you will endure street economy labor. That is wild, blood. I can't see my wife, who I just impregnate, who look like she about a couple months pregnant, belly lapping over, right? And I seeing her move big table like that. Like I talking, bro, it's just a wild thing for me. Wait until you hear she was calling this child beastly.
When you've experienced enough,
She doing all the housework. Okay, so the bed in here.
I do everything I can to keep our environment clean and tidy. When it comes down
She doing, I ain't gonna lie, it's hurting to see. Cause like she doing like a lot of the child rearing, a lot of the labor.
to it, I could shove everything my kids have in one bedroom of some of these houses I see, and it would really look like nothing. We try to teach our kids to take care of what they have, be grateful for what we have. We keep praying and pushing for the growth that we want.
Some would see that as wholesome, being thankful of what you had. That is Stephanie Jenkins. We're gonna get into her because there's a lot to get into. But first, let's look at the dad. I forget what the name, I ain't gonna lie. Leroy Jenkins, I know. Probably Leroy. Is it Micah? Maybe it's Micah. Drew? Andrew. The father is a failure and his name is Drew. Bro, you on a call. Right? Why he throw it down like that?
That's a cute little way to wrap them.
Oh, that's sweet. Right?
They're cute, Susie.
That's really sweet. I assume that this is the white... Whose white baby is that? Bro, you're on a ruthless for real. PNG, man. Not even JPEG, bro. A daughter scrap. I ain't gonna be able to finish this video because y'all don't have no sense, blood. At first, I thought that this was wholesome. Like when I saw all of this, I was just like, okay, this is wholesome. A family doing what they can with what they have. That's what I assumed it was. And I was just like, why are folks being classist and also being racist? We should also look into the cat. Like, hold on, because this is important. The reality of being flat broke is knowing you can't do shit about your kid's cat's skin infection other than rehome the animal to someone more financially able to handle it. Why do I have to take my baby's baby? I really don't want to. And this is content. This is content. Bro, the cat has eczema. The cat has eczema and you making content out of it. I need y'all to stop. Otelia said the cat is ashy and y'all laughing. You put your hand over your face and you put a camera on and then you throw it up on TikTok.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm always fine. Don't you know that?
What was very obvious was the fact that they were trying to turn this into a career. When I say they, I really mean Stephanie. She wanted to be a momfluencer the moment she got to TikTok, and that's a very important point. That is going to prove itself to be extremely important moving forward, that she planned this. Think about the fact that she's pregnant now. She's planning this. There's particular things that like I pick up on. There's some things immediately that I could see that the black child is not being cared for, not adequately being cared for. Maybe they don't know how to. Like dealing with black hair in particular is it's something that you need to know how to do if you have a black child. It's the hair and it's the knees too. My ma wouldn't let me out the house. My knees this ashy or my hair like this. If it's Stephanie mostly doing the child rearing, the dad is the one that would have to, in this case, make sure that the black child, his child from a previous arrangement also, is being taken care of. And he's not doing that. Obviously, Stephanie isn't in community with black folks that know, baby, you got to deal with his hair. Or the same lotion that the rest of your children using, that same Jergens and the baby oil and all that. No, he needs some different stuff. That ain't gonna hold in his skin. Like, and this hurting me, bro, to like look at stuff like this because like that could be my kid. And this child's still flicking happy to be here because children don't realize the situations that they're in. They don't realize the situations that they're in to be not ideal. They think that this is just life. And you read the caption, absolutely baffles me that my beautiful kiddos haven't gone viral yet. 2 years and counting. Babies, we got this. Eventually, mama will make our dreams happen. This is a mother, a momfluencer, not trying to figure out the best way to provide for their children, a life of order, a life of means for their children, but it's more so a mom trying to go viral. And we see more of that the more we look into it. TikTok algorithm be worse than W2N? 2IN? What does that mean? Chat, what does W2IN mean? Working a legit job? Bro, why don't they just... Bro, y'all be talking in code with them low-life coworkers you watch get all the credit. Because tell me why I have crap views and this better content than half this app. You could have just said working with them low-life coworkers and just be classist that way. My girl, these the voting for Trump. You would be in the working class and you'll be working the same job and you still think that you better than the next person for some reason. So she lamented over the fact that she ain't getting good views and she wanted to be a mom influencer. And I can't shun that, right? A lot of us want to turn this into a career and I'm blessed to have a platform. It is not an easy thing. It is a job. It does take a lot of work. I get the want, the desire to do something where you garner, an audience for it. You feel loved. I mean, I know why I did that. I wanted to feel loved too. Make up for not always getting love and being the unpopular kid in school. I know why I did that, but I didn't have kids for the reason of that.
What the dog doing?
You get me? And the more you go back, the more you realize that this is extremely exploitative. We, a blended multicultural houseboy, raising our kids on them southern ways and won't change my mind.
Listen, you don't finna hate me for this one, but...
Remember when I asked y'all to listen to the very Karen articulation that she had before?
Listen, you don't finna hate me for this one, but...
Why finna?
This is my 5th child, okay? Gentle parenting don't do I will not raise my kids with gentle parenting. You got me bent back sideways.
She's saying that word too. Getting indigestion from this. Shorty posting the child. Mommy, did we go viral yet? No, baby. We still posting and grinding. She got Adonis front and center. Pampers full. You could tell them Pampers full. You don't know what viral is. Someone said the female Kid Rock. Y'all are heinous. Here we get into the kinky part. Please, bro, stop these visuals making my cat spit out. Imagine finding out you was a kink, baby, for real though, Tyree. I know that's a joke, right? I'm not gonna stop. It's gonna get so much worse. Is it a kink or a desire for a big family without the means to support? It's definitely the former. It is not only a kink, but it's also a grift. In the weirdest grift that I've ever seen. The caption reads, help a girl out. My hubby says if we can flip our finance... You talking about flip like it's... Hold on. If we can flip our financial position, this doesn't have to be our last baby. And I'm really not ready to stop having babies yet. Dog, she flipping whole. Oh God. Some people flip packs. Some people flip burgers. Shorty is flipping whole. Posts like this are showing that she's having these kids to exploit. But it also kind of alludes to the fact that she is in race play adjacent territory. This is right here. I'm about to have an aneurysm reading this. My hubby said that if I can take our account viral and change our financial situation, he'll hump away and give me as many babies as I want. So help a girl out and share, follow, and help my account so I can make this man a father of 7. And she got the children there. She got the children there. Children smiling in their breeding kink video. That's mad. That's mad. It's giving breeding farm vibes. She's been hyping up the superiority of African genes. She got a black scent that rivals Nigiana Grande herself. And there's a deleted TikTok where she talked about how she hates the mother of the black child because she believes that the black child's mom was drinking while pregnant with him. Maybe alluding to fetal alcohol syndrome, trying to say that the child has fetal alcohol syndrome. So to add to the racism of this dynamic, she's also being ableist. I wince at thinking of what the child, what these children have to go through. I'm not even talking about their material conditions. You know what it is to be raised by a parent that hates your existence. If she can do the bigotries that she's doing, like the racism, like the ableism, and you happen to be black and potentially disabled, we don't even know, like she might just be like calling the child disabled and the child might not even be disabled. Do you know what it is to be raised by that? Since we're in the topic of race, let's talk about like how race has been handled. There is a tweet, got 287 likes, 34 retweets. Of course, the man in that resilient Jenkins family got a black baby mama and child he abandoned first. We need to start redacted these N-words. There's a contingency of people online that have found my videos before and claim that we need to start aborting black boys because they grow up in the black men that do heinous harms. This comes from a hurt. This comes from a pain that I empathize with. And as someone that makes an explicit effort to make sure that this community is free of misogynoir, understands the guidelines that there will not be misogynoir, it is unfortunate that you would have some folks that will watch me that also thinks that I shouldn't exist because we are capable of harm. I understand black femicide. I know the statistics. I know the pain, and I know that pain is also doled out extensively from black men. But misandry will not save you from that pain. Here we have folks criticizing the family, but not for the right reasons. And I don't want to co-opt the terms or minimize the distinct harm that black women and femmes go through, but being misandrous, it won't fix it. And also, what we're not noting is that the virality of this family in particular, this mixed family, and when I say mixed family, it's a white woman and a black man, the virality of this family is also tied to the intersections. Because if this was a black family with two black parents living in poverty, living in squalor, it wouldn't have gotten any traction because people are conditioned. People are conditioned to equate blackness with poverty. The conditions that they're living in is appropriate. They deem it to be appropriate for a black family. The only novelty in this situation is the interraciality of it, the interraciality of it. This is a springboard for folks attacking the man, not for his deadbeatness, which, spoiler, we're about to get into, but they attack him for his blackness. They attack him for the wrong reasons. Quick question and good question. Do I think it would be the same if it was a white man and a black woman? A black woman would post it. Unfortunately, they be in these conditions all the time. They be in these conditions all the time, but they wouldn't post it simply because they perform that they're living a better life when they go with the white man, and to find out and take that veneer off that they're actually getting some of the same issues and then some, because you have like the racial aspect now. They don't want to talk about that because that breaks the illusion of if I go over there, the grass is greener. This is the dad. Let's get into the dad real quick. You know what's killing me? And it might just be the TikToks that I've chosen, but I ain't see the black dad playing with the black child. It might just be the TikToks that I'm choosing though. But I'm looking at these TikToks and I see like a lot of TikToks. Like we have this example that we watched earlier where he's buying the white kid shoes. But I don't see him with the mixed kid. I see him with the white kid. I don't see him with his black kid. And the thing is, I hate to talk about this, but like the way that like men treat their second families, there's a conversation to be had there. I believe that he brought the black child from a previous relationship, and there's so much wrapped up in that. If he has any animosity towards the baby mom, he can sometimes exact that frustration, exact that resentment onto the black child because you look like your mom. In very toxic situations, anytime when they get into an argument, like the parent and the child get into an argument or something like that, it's always like the retort is, you just like your mom or you just like your pa. The black child is a signifier for how he feels about the mom. He's playing with the kid, and right now he looks like the best dad. He really do look like JPEG Mafia for real now that I see his hair. Okay, so like these are multiple videos where he's playing. I haven't watched any of these, but like these are multiple videos where he's playing with the mixed kid. Jesus Christ, where's the black kid, man? Damn. Most likely he was with a black woman and he went white, not for the reasons of, I just happen to love a white woman, but because, I refute black woman and blackness in general. I'm tired of the hood girl. I tired of the attitude. I tired of this and that. And now I'm with a white girl type of thing. I've done videos on interracial couples. I've also done videos on race play in particular. It's unfortunate because like there are normal interracial couples. You can be interracial and normal. The fixation doesn't have to be the fact that you are with a person that is not in the same race as you. That's not to say that like you should be colorblind also. It takes a lot more work, in my opinion, to be engaged with someone of a different race, because then you have to do the labor of trying to explain to them, especially when it's a black and white situation, but all across the board, even different minorities too. You have to explain to them the nuances of that thing. And I assume that there are a lot more normal interracial couples than is marketed to us, simply because it is not noteworthy. So actually, I take that back. The normal interracial couples, they're in the commercials or in Shonda Rhimes' series. You know what I mean? He looks like he's a playful and hands-on dad now, you know? And no person is all bad. Like, he could very well be this playful, wholesome dad and also still be heinous in other respects. Like, we can't subscribe to binaries if we claim to trying to dismantling them. He can be bad and he can be good at the same time. We all are. Let's look at what he does for work. He's a wheel detailer. He has multiple side hustles, actually. The economy ain't easy, but I'd assume if you got all these hustles, he's probably using the money to fund the children, right? But instead, this is their room. Let's get into it. This is their room. The room that the parents sleeping in. It got the nice lighting. Dad takes his first evening off in 150 days. 150 plus days. Tariq said, is he asleep? Dad takes his first evening off in 150 plus days so him and the kids can have a gaming sesh. All right, at least the black kid right there. Okay, at least the black kid playing. We love to see it. The black kid is here. Too broke for the poor cat though. Bruh. Oh God. Had to sell the cat, but not the PS5, blood. Wow. The kids do have a PS4. They just like watching the dad play. Now, I'm not subscribing to this whole thing of like, you know, if you're impoverished, you need to like have no enjoyment in your life. I don't subscribe to that. Like, I mean, like that's the criticism that they levy towards socialism. They say, how are you socialist, but you have a house? I don't subscribe to none of that foolishness. Socialism is not a reality where you need to live in squalor in order to be a better socialist than someone else. You deserve to live well. You deserve to be able to live, and you deserve to be able to live well. You should be able to eat good food, not just eat in general, but eat good food. You should be able to enjoy music. You should be able to enjoy a meal out. You should be able to do all of those things under socialism. And it is possible. It is very doable. If you take a smidge of the American military budget and put that into social services or providing quality of life, better quality of life for the people, I assure you that you could live far better. It is a choice. But I agree, the PS5 in this case is irresponsible. They only need one console, bro. If they really need a console, like if he has like a gaming channel that we don't know about, but he don't need this and he could definitely sell it for, and that would help. This isn't a symptom of poverty. It's a symptom of a priority problem. Finding out that this man has not only the children that you see pictured here, we're about to get into his first baby mama. This is gonna get a little rough. I'm about to full screen this.
Hi, I'm the first baby mama. That's my sperm donor. I will not be posting my child on here because y'all not gonna know. But my son is almost 12. Since everybody wants to kind of chime in, that man that everybody's saying they have two loving parents walked out of his son's life when he was 2.
This isn't doing very well for the absent black father myth. The situations like this do not help.
Hasn't seen his son since he was 5. And that's because I reached out to him to come to his kindergarten graduation. And at the time, he only had one child, which was the little black boy you guys see in his videos. That's my oldest's little brother.
Yes, Jackie myth. I'm not attacking you, Jackie, but yeah, like, especially in the United States, there's this prevailing myth that black fathers are absent. And that's an overblown situation. But not only that, but like when we say myth, in reference to that, because it does exist, and I don't want to invalidate people's experience of people that have not grown up with fathers that happen to be black. But it's not the whole story of it. This does not take into the account the amount of black men that are incarcerated. White men do have like a higher deadbeat. Like the scoreboard is hideous if we were really keeping score. But it's a stereotype, and that's for a reason. There's a stigma, and that's for a reason. But the full story in particular, because like if we take away like the black men that are not in the homes, and yet again, this is a very American-centric conversation because I live in the Bahamas. There's all kinds of black fathers that are doing amazing father job. My dad was in the home. My dad is in the home. My dad is watching my child as we speak, so he's in his home as well. Not only that, but all of my cousins had their fathers inside their lives. Anytime when we discuss like the absent black father is a very US-centric discussion, because as soon as you bring it outside of the US, it just all falls apart. But even within the US, they actually are predicated to be a lot more hands-on fathers, a lot more affectionate fathers than their other counterparts and their other racial counterparts. But in the situations where black fathers are absent, and it's not because of incarceration, it's not because of the multitude of different factors that marginalize black men to the point where they take them out of the home itself in the United States. All that withstanding, when black men are not in the home, what I've found is the black men pathologize their family would be better off without them in the home. The black man is trying to live up to this idyllic archetype of fatherhood in general. And at a particular point, because that idea of fatherhood, that patriarchal idea of fatherhood is a white construct that was not made with the black man in mind, because you were not supposed to be a man, they begin to buckle under the weight of that patriarchy. They begin to size themselves up and notice that they can't do it. They can't be that father. They can't be that provide and protect man that you see, that you hear about, that we're taught to understand to be a man. And when they can't do that, well, they sabotage. So a lot of the black men are frustrated with the fact that they can't be fathers in the way that they believed, and they sabotage themselves because they see the black woman, stressing themselves, like trying to meet financial things and child rearing, and it's a very stressful environment being a parent. So they end up in extremely high stress situations, and the black man is seeing the black woman, in this case, in the cishet binary type of situation, and they recognize that there's nothing that they could do about it. They can't save this woman. They can't take care of this woman like they think that they're supposed to. And then they end up sabotaging. That sabotage looks different in many different ways. Of course, like numbing themselves to it, drinking, smoking, trying to find different ways. And that, of course, removes you even more from the family. And then you become distanced for a reason. You're warranted distancing now because you're working. And you could say that, but I'm working. I'm trying to be the man that you want to be. Yeah. So I'm working. But you don't have to be there all the time. But you opt out that way. Or in many different ways, in order to massage their masculinity and the fact that they can't reach that, they sabotage by way of infidelity and adultery, often starting other families with other people, and then the cycle continues. And then at a particular point, when all of that damage is done and he just sees the ruins in his wake, he's just like, I'd be better off if I just go. You don't say that verbally, but you just resign before you know the dad is gone. And also the black partner, the black woman in this case, also compounds that. He said, like, yeah, you would be better off. Like, we would be better off without you. Yeah, you aren't like worth anything as a man. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's not as catchy as just saying absent black father or black fathers ain't in the home. It's easy to say that. It rings off the tongue. It builds upon already established bigotry. But the full phrase is all of that I just said. But obviously, all that witstanding, this is real. This is valid. This is a black woman right now that is rearing a child by herself, or maybe with a partner that isn't, as she refers to Andrew Jenkins as, his sperm donor, and that's real.
Doesn't even know he has 2 other siblings. So no, they didn't meet when he had 1 child. He probably has more. He hasn't paid child support, but he has a PS5. I feel bad for those kids. I literally feel bad for my child's siblings, sad to say, that they have to sleep on the floor. and that man has not changed. And it's disrespectful, mind you, my child's name is being changed. I'm at work, but I keep seeing this and it makes my blood boil. I never not wanted my son to not know his dad, and he's asked, and I've tried. I have receipts. I've tried to get him to be a part. Even his son asked, Mommy, I just want to know my dad. Why can't I see my dad? Mind y'all, when that happened, I reached out to him. He read the message, never replied. So I had to put my son in counseling just because I knew it was bothering him, and there was nothing that I could say that was going to help him. I just told him, your dad made choices, and he chose to make those choices. It has nothing to do with you. So for people that are saying like, oh, they're in a one-bedroom apartment there with 2 loving parents. No, that's not love. You don't put your kids on the floor. You sacrifice for your kids. You don't put your kids on the floor. His priorities were messed up, and that's why we never worked out. That's why we didn't work out. Because his priorities, as you guys can see, are all messed up. And now you're going viral.
The family structure needs revision, because this is a family. Even if she was a single mom and that was her son and she was with him, you know, I think that she's remarried, or she has a ring on, she might be remarried. But even if the single mom and a child was the family, that's a family. We demonize and put moral values on single parents and see it as failure, when sometimes that is the most effective family for that child and for everybody involved. And sometimes that family doesn't look like, of course, a nuclear family that everybody touts to be the ideal. Sometimes that family is an aunt. Sometimes that family is the Grammy. A lot of the times that family is the Grammy and the grandpa and the child. And those are valid families. Sometimes it's 2 moms. Sometimes it's 2 dads. Sometimes it's all kind of different iterations and configurations of family. And sometimes, because people be all like, no, you need to get your family together, stick together for the kids, stick together for... No, hell no. Now, I'm saying this as someone that has come from a divorced parent household. I am so happy that my parents got divorced. They would have been miserable together. They were miserable together. And they're better apart from each other. And they were still, and are still, dedicated parents. And they worked, that configuration worked better. And I now have a stepmom. We need to unsubscribe from this idea of what a family is supposed to look like and begin to embrace what a family is.
And then you continue to make more babies, and you couldn't even take care of the first one that you had. He don't even know you, but he wanted to know you. You don't even know how great of a kid you got. And I'm so blessed that he doesn't have to worry about being in that situation. He would never have to be there. But what I am sad for is he's never going to know his siblings. And the way Portland is so small, no telling if he would ever run into his siblings when he gets older and not even know it. I have to protect my baby, y'all. I can't even let him see this. He don't have no phone, but I'm sure there'll be somebody out there that can, and he'll see it.
TK didn't say, where's the white grandparents? That's a good question, actually.
But, yeah, Andrew, I hope you showed up to your court case for your child support. That was on October 2nd. It is October 29th. And while the Oregon's been looking for you, Andrew Alexander Jenkins.
Jesus Christ, but the whole government.
All the you've been doing is going to come back tenfold.
Can't say anything wrong with this, right? Even though like I am not for penal system, for like punishing, because I don't think that anybody is going to be restored by this punishment, by this pillorying. But I get it. It feels good in the moment to like, yeah, read the filth, especially like if you've been seeing like him aggregate fame on the exploitation of his children when you got a child for him and he ain't even taking care of him. But the Jenkins had a response.
What should we address first?
Let's address the child support thing.
Child support? Okay. The child support and child. I have the one other child, Anthony.
Not the what? Hold on. He done fuck up. Hold on. Oh God. And I I wonder why it is audio only, because like their face would be betraying them. The other child, the one other child is mad, bro. Dreadheads are down. The lady really shouldn't be in. Yeah, honestly, you would be fighting that on your own. I ain't gonna lie. That's between you and your BM. The way the man not only said the other child, but also after the mom said that she's trying to shield and insulate her child from this situation, you could give the whole child name. Run it back.
For and child, I have the one other child, Anthony. I've been paying child support via garnishments ever since I can remember.
Hold the hell on, bro. Hold on. Because, chat, y'all let me know if I'm wrong in this, right? But like, that's not actually paying child support voluntarily. You are being penalized by the system for not paying child support. And it's gotten to a point that they had to forcibly rend child support from you. And you're right, Carrie, isn't he jobless? So yeah, how are they even doing that? If you don't have a job, it's taxable. Not Roach behavior. Osmond Gold Roach has entered the chat. He's not W2.
I worked at a W-2 since I was 18, 19.
I worked over a W-2 since I was 18, 19. So he's saying he's had a legit job since he's 18, 19? Is that, am I to understand that correctly? The deadbeat, the street economy hustler pipeline. That's a video in itself tomorrow.
Jobs that worked your body to the bone. And
Yeah, I worked retail, I worked overnight, I worked at Home Depot. Where else did I work?
She helping him out. She doing his homework for him, man. Come on, man. You can't even save your trade. This gonna sound how it need to sound, but sound whiter than her. Like, I mean, like, there's no black like way to sound, right? But after Shorty came through with a whole black scent, this dog sound like Childish Gambino. This boy sound like Donald Glover. Why is she code switching if he don't even sound like that? Where's she getting it from? The situation gets worse. Apparently, this is what Stephanie is used to. Apparently, she's now seeing the light and is trying to leave. She's probably just trying to scam for more money. So he's basically saying that Stephanie, has now figured out that, oh, something isn't right here with the way that we're living. And Stephanie's trying to leave. And now saying that she's probably just trying to scam for more money. However, her first husband, or her actual husband, is in jail for multiple counts of SA, including against his own mother and 7-year-old.
The woman, whatever, Brazilian Jenkins' wife, apparently she was married to, well, I think they're still married. Her husband is a convicted offender. There's a woman on TikTok.
So hold on. Because you all got me all kind of different flavors of. Oh God. She ain't even married to this boy. They playing house. She calling him hubby. The white girl churring that she don't have with Andrew Jenkins, calling Andrew Jenkins daddy. Meanwhile, her actual husband potentially is rotting in jail for SA. All I want to know is where y'all making these white people.
What the dog doing?
And when y'all get stopped. Jacob, you need to stop. She's cheating on a PDF file husband.
This woman's first husband essayed, I think, a 14-year-old, a 7-year-old, and his own mother.
What? This on some Christian? Oh God. What?
His mother. Yo, this story literally every single day, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And worse and worse and worse and worse. First, when we first heard about it, they're trying. But also, why are the kids sleeping on the floor? Then we find out they're not trying. The man won't even get a real job. Not even a real job, just any job. He just won't get a job. Then we find out the son in the house is not his only son. He also has another son. Then we find out the lady was smoking while pregnant.
Huh? What in the Duck Dynasty y'all doing over there? Trump ain't even in office yet and y'all already doing. Yeah, she albino and she fine as hell. Dude over there, you need to shut the hell up about Chief. Only a black person would come up with that level of riz just now. Jesus be a brick wall is so right tomorrow. The shorty is beautiful.
Then we find out her husband.
What? She's like, husband. This dovetails perfectly into the society that we're in right now. What is looming on the horizon is the defunding of not the police, but a defunding of education and social services. Fact of the matter is, we about to see far more families like the resilient Jenkins coming in this upcoming administration. And hence the reason why women and femmes, folks that carry children, are extra anxious. This is why we see the tweets about women, please protect who come in between your legs, because do not call CPS. Don't call the police. Don't call the police. Invest in your communities to prevent situations like this. There should have been an aunt. There should have been a grandparent. There should have been a family friend. There should have been a school teacher. There should have been a bus driver. There should have been. Yeah, we do what we can in a situation where we can't imagine outside of a framework where we call the police and we call CPS for things when things go wrong. But we've created that type of system in that scenario. We don't need it to be like this. That's like when people say, oh, if you abolish the police, who you call when you get robbed? The reason why we call the police is because we've been trained to call the police. So we can't imagine anything outside of that, and we've created a society that's dependent upon that. So yeah, I understand when they call the police, because that's what they've been doing this whole time. However, if we invested in community, and if we knew our neighbors, and if we organized, then we would be able to call your friend down the road. Hold on, Miss Maxine. Hold on. I hear old girl freaking out inside house. You check on her? Please check on her for me, please. Otherwise, I come in there. Okay. You need some sauce? I hear you sick. I could bring you some sauce. That's community. That's what community is. As you have seen, as folks have seen right now, because we all know that it mess up, We have seen that these institutions have failed us. All we got is us, especially now, especially when these institutions and whatnot are being defunded.